So there's our warning. Hello everyone, Kerm Martian here, and welcome back to the Cemetech Minecraft server. This is episode 14 of my Cemetech Minecraft server series, and today I want to show you a little bit about building grade crossings or level crossings on the railroads. As you may or may not know, we have a fairly extensive railroad system here on our, well, it's now 1.11 world. We have been emphasizing rails as a way to get around the server, and the last couple of days in particular, people have been working hard on expanding our rail network. Our far southern and far northern areas have been somewhat neglected, so we're glad to finally be getting them linked into the rail network. So I want to show you a little simple grade crossing that we'll be building here and how to make it. So let's get started by throwing down a chest and dumping out some of these items I've been carrying around into the chest just for the sake of organization. So you'll see I have some hoppers, I have some comparators, I have some stone blocks. I also need some pistons, and you'll see a pattern here. I don't see any crafting tables nearby, so I'll make myself a little crafting table and throw it down right here. The pattern being that we need for ourselves a little hopper timer. So let's get those pistons put together. Alrighty. I only need 2 of them. Let's see if I got this the right way up. I did. Amazing. Usually I get the iron and the redstone upside down. And let's make these sticky pistons and then throw them right in this chest here. So this is what we'll need, plus the redstone, for our hopper-based timer. And then we'll also need a couple of items for the actual warnings. I'll use these redstone lamps. I'll need some redstone torches. Let's put those together real quick. Everything's better with redstone torches. All right. And let's dig ourselves out a space underneath this. So the way that our level crossing will work, and it looks like there's actually something under here already. Does this count as trolling? Living under a bridge. Command block guy's old house. Well, not much of a house, if I may say so. Trolling, living under a bridge. Clever. Alrighty. So what we will have is we will have a flip-flop that flips between being on, where on means there is a minecart about, and we need to warn any passers-by to be careful, and off, where there is nothing to be warned about. Oof. It's a bright sunny day outside, and I'm getting quite a bit of glare off my screen, so let's make sure we can actually see. So I'm digging out a space under here where we can build ourselves some redstone circuitry. Hopefully also without making it too obvious that there's a room under here. We still want this to look good from outside. I'll leave that open for now because we'll need to get in and out for a bit. I have my nice fast shovel here. That's unfortunately or fortunately making quite fast work of these blocks here. Ooh, a chest. I seem to have dug into some hidden area down here. Well, let's be careful of that. I'll put some sand here. Alrighty, and let's make this one deeper. Give ourselves a nice flat surface to build on. And note that our crossing is there, so let's go a little bit further this way. In fact, you can see where the crossing is because of these chiseled blocks there. We also need to make sure that these redstone torches will not interfere with our redstone underneath. That's why we're going too deep here. And let's make sure that there's not something weird with the fact that those chisel blocks are going one extra block deep, that's just a weird effect of something. It is. Probably to put those torches on so we can get rid of those. Looks like somebody just used what they had available. Alrighty. Now we have ourselves a nice little space under here. So let's first build ourselves a nice little flip-flop. I'll use my polished andesite because I happen to have it with me. And I'm making this nice and big. No reason to get cramped here. So here's our flip-flop. The way it will work, if you're not as familiar with these flip-flops, are if I apply power here, it'll stay in that position even when the power is removed. If I put power here, it'll stay in that position even when the power is removed. So this means that when a minecart goes over a detector rail, that the grade crossing will keep the warnings on until that cart rolls over another detector that tells our system that it is safe to cross again. Now let's make sure that our players are going to have plenty of warning. So let's put these detectors nice and far away. Let's put one here. And this, because we're going by US rules, which means that trains, like cars, always travel on the right side of the tracks. So this particular detector here will enable our grade crossing. And then I'll put another detector over here. Well, I don't need to put this one quite so far away, because as soon as the cart is passed, it is relatively safe for people to pass again. I'll put this detector over here, because there's only a short distance that cart will have to travel before our detector turns off. Now I'll do the same thing on the other side. Let's put our disabling detector rail right here. And let's put our enabling detector rail up here. I'll put it up here so that even if somebody puts their minecart on the wrong track here and starts heading in this direction, after they go through the crossover and end up on the right side, they will go through that detector rail. Alrighty. I wish I could put it a little further back so our denizens will have a little bit more warning, but that should do the trick for now. Alrighty. Now the next thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run wires from those detector rails to our little, what do we want to call it? Machine rooms, perhaps? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself some slabs, and I need to make those slabs out of, that looks like jungle wood. Hopefully I dug into a little room here that has some jungle wood all ready for us. Jungle wood planks, in fact, which is what we need. I'm going to make myself some more jungle wood planks too. Alrighty, jungle wood planks. Now, remember our detector rail was over here. I will just double check that to make sure I'm grabbing from the right place. I think it was here. That's exactly right. Good. So we want to be grabbing power from right under here. I really should take out my axe for this. And my bow. Sorry, Lord of the Rings reference. Alrighty. Now we also want to be careful that we're not going to be pulling power off of these torches here, so we'll have to be careful of that. So the way that we'll do that is, let me actually pull out my axe now. I might want to use some repeaters for this. Certainly I'll want to pull this over this way, and then perhaps come down a little. In fact, I can do that right here. There we go. Now, if I put some redstone up there, trust me, I put it up there. I just clicked on top. There. Now that will not get powered by these redstone torches, and we'll make sure of that by keep running this and looking for power along that line. If we get any power, it means we've done something wrong. because we've touched one of those torches. We will, of course, have to put in some repeaters at some point, though, to make sure that power will actually be able to make it all the way down to our machine room over there. All right, let's keep running this here. And I'm going to need a couple more pieces of jungle wood. This chest was put here by the kind souls who built a lot of this spawn village in the first place. This is our spawn village on the Cemetech Minecraft server. It was one of the first areas that we built when the server started just about a year ago now, in fact. Our administrator, Comic Idiot, just posted a news article on the Cemetech front page about 1 year of the Cemetech Minecraft 1.9, 10, 11 server. So that is an exciting milestone. It's great to see what people have built in the last year. The community that's continued to be built in this iteration of our Minecraft server. And I am looking forward to quite a bit more time on this map. We have no immediate plans to reset the map, and I'm glad of that because I like this one. And I think we have a lot more we can do on this particular iteration before we have to close it down and start over. I don't think we're really in desperate need of a fresh start, so I look forward to seeing how that works. I'm going to put some of these rails in this chest too because I'm kind of running out of room here. Maybe some of the sand and sandstone steps as well. Alrighty. Oopsies. How did that get there? It's almost time to dive down underneath there. And of course, I'll also have to put my redstone onto this line that I've built. Oopsies. That's fine. Alright, almost there. We'll just run a wire here. Oops, out of slabs again. Oh bother. Should have brought more jungle wood with me. Alrighty, there we go. And that. I'll just use a slab here. Perfect. And then we are right at this line here. So the way we'll do this is, let me run it around this way. And for this I'm going to need a little bit more material other than sand. I'll need some dirt here because the sand is of course going to fall. I'm trying to run this line around so I will be able to connect to this point here right underneath me for the disable part. Remember, this is one of the enable lines that will turn on our warnings when there is a cart coming. Alrighty. Now let me put more redstone along this, and then we'll add some repeaters as well. And then we will test it out. Of course, we have to actually get that redstone up there. Excellent. Break down more of my redstone blocks. We have enough redstone to actually do it. And connected. Alrighty. So that line remains unpowered, which is good. That means we've done it correctly. We haven't accidentally crossed it with anything. Now I'm going to find my way up into this station somehow. There we go. I'm going to take my minecart. I'm going to drop it right on this detector rail. That'll power it. And then we want that power to get all the way to our little machine room to tell us when there is a cart. We're also going to need to find a way to get up here. And we'll just walk. Like that. Now I'm going to take my repeaters and I'm going to basically put them where I need them. So that line is powered down to here-ish. So let's put a repeater there. There we go. Now it is powered almost all the way. We'll need one more repeater in there. Remember that repeaters incur a time cost of at least 1 tick for better or worse. So we want to minimize the number that we have to make our redstone as responsive as possible. There we go. Now we got that connected. Now let us connect the detector from the disabler, the thing that for southbound trains will turn off the grade crossing after they pass. And we have that detector all the way up here. So let's jump underneath this and add a detector for it. And I'll make that run under this portion of the rails. Yeah, that should work. Yeah, unless I make it go straight down. Now the other thing that we're going to need is a little bit more jungle wood. So let us grab that. After I add a little bit of marking here so we know where to return to. Right there. Okay. Alrighty, I am back. And just in time for Elemental Viz, joining for the first time in a very long time. So I just grabbed myself some jungle wood. Also, I had a day, but let's not worry about that. So I can now use this jungle wood to get us some jungle wood planks, and we can get right back to work on running some wiring. Alrighty, so there's some planks for us. And we can just finish this little wiring under here. Now remember, I put this little placeholder here. So if I look straight up from that, that's where I want to start. Actually here, specifically. Now that's going to be a problem because this redstone line is right there. So what are we going to do about that? I'll have to adjust that a little bit. Specifically, I will have to make this redstone line come down a little bit sooner so that it doesn't interfere. There we go. And we will have to, one further block. There we go, that'll do it. Because I'm going to need to put a solid block on top of here to prevent that leaking in. There. Now, let's put some redstone up here. Make sure it is not powered. It is powered because there's a torch right there. All right, we're gonna have to adjust that slightly. So what we shall do is put this right back how we found it. Thusly. Grab my redstone, put it back on everything. There we go. Connected. And we're going to move that detector rail down a little. So let's try putting it. So there's definitely a torch under this block powering this rail. There's a torch under this block. Sorry, under this block powering this rail. So that torch is under there. So we need to move out 2 from there. So 1, 2. So we could put it here, for instance. Let's give that a try. Or, even better, we could put it, no, we couldn't put it right there. Because again, if there's a torch under here, it would be powered here. So we'll try moving it all the way over here. That's a little bit further than I initially expected, rather a little bit closer to the crossing than I initially expected. But there's really nothing wrong with that particular solution. It'll just mean that the crossing lights and sound will shut off right after our train goes by, our minecart. So if the detector is, whoa, I think my elytra triggered there for a moment. I'm wearing my nice little elytra there that I got in our end. Once we opened the end, it took us a little while to open the end, but we did it eventually. Oops, did it again. So this is the block with the crocodile on it. This is the one that we want. So we will put that there. Now what we can do is, because we're so close to our little enclosure here, I'm going to move this back over underneath the rail there so that we can just run our new redstone straight out. So let's take that redstone there and run it like this. Perfect. That's connected now. And then this is going to be our other piece, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to get rid of this little quote-unquote trolling here, or at least pave over it for now. Sorry, player. You have now been immortalized in this video anyway. So I'll put down some redstone right there. And I will add some sand here. Redstone here, redstone here. It's not being powered. That's good. Then I will connect this right here. There we go. All right. So notice that let me put some torches on here to make this even more obvious. So this near torch is on and the far torch is off. And the line that was connected to our turn on the dinging bells and lights is the one that was connected. This is for the train that's coming from the south, which is that direction, and going north. That is going to cross this crossing. So if I grab my cart, I don't have a cart with me. I have so many carts at my home. Let's go get one. All right. Cart. It says minecart with chest, but that's a total lie. Oopsies, almost fell there. So, let's do a little flying. Ooh, let's not. Let's get pulled down to the ground by the server. Let's try that again. There we go. Now let's do some flying. Where are my rockets? I'm not going to make it. That's an interesting visual glitch. There we go. Now I'm going to make it. Whee! Coming for a nice little landing over here on this bridge. Perfect. All right. So I've got my cart. Let's check this out. So this is the one that will turn it off. Let's click that. So when a cart goes this way after having just passed by this crossing, now you see the opposite torch is on. So this means that the system is off. When this torch is on, it means the system is on. Simple enough. So let's remove these torches. Those are just placeholders so you can see what was going on there. And let's get the other side connected up. So we have to wend our way this way. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we can do this carefully in a way that's not going to mess up this cool little system here. So first let's find out exactly where our detector rails actually are. This is our turn off the system detector rail. And to make this easy to find, I'm just going to knock out this block underneath it. There we go. In fact, I'm going to knock out all these blocks. Perfect. Now we can get rid of this one. We can put our sand right back there. And put a little roof on this. Perfect. Now if we take our redstone and we run it from right there, and we put another piece of sand there. There we go. Now, that needs to turn the lights and sounds off. So we're going to have to connect it to this line over here. So I'll knock out a little bit more over here. Grab my trusty shovel for that. There we go. Now we will need a repeater sooner or later, but for now I'll just run this across like that. And alrighty, I'm going to flip this actually. I'm going to flip this the other way so we can see exactly how much that needs to be powered. So do that. And then I'll do this. And, well, that's confusing. That was not what I meant to do. Let's just disconnect that for now. And power this. Right, of course it's going to flip back over. There, all right. So it got powered as far as right here. This is where we want our repeater. Beautiful. Great. In fact, we can move this a little closer. We do this. Is that going to work? Yes, that'll work. because there's no repeater on this block here, so that's not going to push the power through to this line. So we can just do that. There we go. All connected. Now let us connect this back together. And now the last thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to connect this line to our detector rail that's all the way down there. So oh, actually I should make this that. Otherwise, nobody's going to be able to get into that chest again. That wouldn't be good. Put my sand back there. So we now need to go all the way down that ways. So off we go. I will replace these blocks here. Get my cart off the tracks here too. And we want to get this detector that's all the way down here. Alright, how are we going to do that? We are going to pull this up and see what we can do. This is our walkway that's always on the side of the tracks. We have these as a consistent thing throughout our system, so if somebody does need to walk the track for maintenance, that they're not going to interfere with the trains that are actually going by. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my redstone, which I need to get first, under there. Run it all the way over down this way. Oops, that's getting powered by something. That's getting powered right there, because there's a torch powering a powered rail right there. So what I can do is I can pull this over this way. And I need to go 2 more blocks to be underneath that detector. And then I can just run this right over. Oops, not quite. There we go. Run it like that. Let us put our cart up there so we can double check. There we go, that this is working. And it reaches all the way. Perfect. So the last thing we need to do is connect this over there. Oopsies, not like that though. So that's going to require another slab there. Unfortunately, I don't have sandstone slabs, so let me go get some. Sandstone, not enough sandstone. Am I remembering this correctly? I am. Just making sure. Okay, need one more. Very good. Sandstone. I was worried I had the recipe wrong there. Alrighty. And we can put a sandstone slab. That's a hard word to say. Right there. And then just run this right over here. So we need to connect these two now. So let's see what will happen if I do this. I'll use sand this time for simplicity. Although hopefully, whoops. Really should have predicted that one. Not that. There we go. Alrighty. So this should be all connected. Let us find a way to test this after I cover it back over. Because I need to keep it neat and tidy. So I'm going to cover this right back over. And I'll just use regular jungle wood planks for this. And by jungle wood planks, I do mean jungle wood planks. Good. I was afraid I had said jungle wood slabs there. I put my repeaters in. I avoided the torches, so all should be well. Merge those back together. What else am I missing here? Who needs cobblestone? I shouldn't leave it on the tracks. That's bad for them. Alrighty. I'll take these. I'm going to put the wooden trapdoors and the cobblestone away. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Just getting my head in order with all the materials. Now the next thing, as I said, is to test. So for that, let us take our pistons and connect them right here. Oops. I was trying to get that facing upwards. Forgot how fiddly this is. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's actually not going to be helpful because we're going to end up pushing up the track there. All right. In that case, let's do it this way. So that's pushed out. We currently have the system on. This means noise and lights and stuff. All right, so we can use, I don't know why I'm not doing this the easy way. We can just use lights. So let's use some lights to show whether this is going to be on or off. This means it's on right now. So imagine I'm in my cart and rolling along here. First thing I'm going to do is roll this way going south, put my cart there, you know, it'll pass by there. And then if we look down in our little room down here, you'll see that light is on. Now I get all the way over here, that should turn it off again. And behold, off. Now I'm going the other way. If I'm going northbound, I will have to first hit this little detector here in my cart as I go. And that should have turned the light back on. If we take a look, you will see the light is back on. And then I keep rolling this way, and I hit this to turn it off. And behold, the light is off. Good. Testing is successful. So let's put that there, this here. And now we can make some lights and sounds. So let's actually add our lights here. We're going to do that by taking our lights, including the one that's hiding down here. That always freaks me out, breaking those and hearing the glass breaking sound by hand. I'm going to put them right on top of here. Ordinarily, I'd like to put like a little piece of stone on top of that, but since they have the metal bars over them, I think it's okay. And what I'll do is I'll put torches underneath those blocks pointing up into those. So that'll be right here. Perfect. Not quite so perfect. Definitely didn't mean to throw those. Am I going to be able to get up on there? I'm not. There we go. That's what I want. And then I can put this little block back there. Now I'm going to repeat this over here. So I will knock that out. I'll knock this one out too. Put my stone bricks there. Put something down to stand on. Put in a torch. Close it back up again. Twice more. Do it over here. Knock out that block. Knock out this block. Put a stone brick in. Put one to stand on. Put in a torch. And close it back up again. And once more. And I've left those as stone bricks so it's obvious where I need to apply power. Close. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. Put my stone brick in, find something to stand on. That won't do. That won't do either, actually. There we go. Put that in, remove that, connect the wire again, put that back in, and now we're set. Alrighty. So, what next? Tell you what's next. Next, we want to connect these together. So connect them together we shall. Same over here. And just for the sake of completedness, let's put that in there. Run a wire there. Luckily there are no torches under there, so that's not going to interfere. There we go. Now, next things next. We will have to run a repeater into this. Perfect. Actually, we probably want to run it from this direction. Like that. Yes, that will be better. Repeater. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. Now the last thing we need to do, and I say last is a bit of an overstatement. Understatement? Understatement. Is to build ourselves something new under here. And that's unfortunately going to require I rip up a little of this because I'm going to have to put a hopper timer under here. Alrighty, now we will need a note block. 2 actually. So let's throw some redstone on here. Add our oak wood. And find ourselves a place to put this stuff. I have altogether too much extra material here. Put my dirt in there. Probably don't need this iron. Put the sandstone step in there. Alrighty, that should do it. Now let's get these note blocks connected. Ooh, I've made it a little challenging to get past this. That's interesting. Let's go from the other side. I'll have to close this all up for neatness eventually. Alright, so the way we want to do this is... Alright, let's do it this way. That should power that block there. Oh, right, you need air over these for them to make a noise. Well, that's unfortunate. Whatever shall we do? We will modify this slightly. Yes, that is what we will do. Ever so slightly. You will see how this works in a moment. Because, as I said, we need to dig this out to give ourselves a little bit more room to work under here. Unfortunately, since we already built stuff here. Some stone bricks there, since I don't want to bother making any more sandstone. It's okay, nobody will see this after we're done, even though I'd like to have that a little neater. Oops, that was a regular sand block. And then I believe there's another line up there, which is perfect. We'll just do this. Ah, something made a noise. Beautiful. Not so beautiful, actually. I didn't realize those get powered from the side. Or did they? Do they get powered from the side? Let's do a little experiment. Yes, they do. How sad. Not to worry, though. Not to worry at all. Where shall we place our note blocks? I want to get them as close underneath this crossing as possible so they'll sound correct to the people going by. They'll sound like they're in the right place, like the crossing itself is making the noises. So that is what I am attempting, ooh, it's underlining, to do. Let's make ourselves a little space over here perhaps, and then close that up. Will hopefully allow us to have them right here if I move this over further. There we go. Now, let us put some blocks there. Nope, that's not what I want. Alright, let's make this look a little neater. That there. Thunder and lightning. Put this here. There we go. Much better. Now, we can take our 2 note blocks, put them right there. Now we're talking. And then we'll be able to dig underneath them and power them. Let's try that for now. Unfortunately, I have to change a lot of this just so that it won't fall down when we put stuff onto it. Underneath it, brother. Oh, fine, I'll do this right. I was telling you that I wasn't going to bother changing to the right type, but I was lying. I can't control myself. I have to do it right. It just looks too messy otherwise, you know? There we go. I'll have to get the piece of redstone over there too. Now I can get rid of these. And then I can't get out. Much better. I want to make these turn on alternately, so when one turns on, the other turns off, and vice versa. And the way that I'm going to do that is a good question. Alrighty, I did a quick consultation of the wiki page, and I can just use dirt here to maintain that sound that we wanted. Now, I will run my line in here. Find my way back to the other side. Beautiful. Get back in here, get these materials. Continue this line into here. Now, this is the line that we're going to use both for powering. Remember, use my sandstone, both for powering the lights and for making the music happen. Ooh, that's going to be a bad place to do it. That's going to be a bad place to do it as well. Ah, there's too much wiring around here. I'm going to have to push this wiring one block further out so I can actually do this. I'll put my sandstone underneath it just in case we need to dig underneath for any particular reason. Not that I anticipate that we will. There we go. Good. That should do it. New. I hope that's not too long. What we're going to have to do is pull this out a little bit so we can put a torch here without interfering with anything. There we go. And just to make sure, let's look on the top here, and all of these should be off. They are. If we remove this torch, they should all be on again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, so we can turn those lights on and off. Beautiful. Excellent. Now, one last thing. Oh, in fact, we can make this even more efficient. That always makes me happy. So the thing we're going to build here is a hopper timer. materials. Let us fix that. Drive myself nuts with this. And by this I mean making sure I have the materials right. So for that we need some torches. Well, you don't really need the torches. The most vital things we need are a block of redstone, 2 redstone comparators, 2 sticky pistons, and 2 hoppers, and 2 dots of redstone dust. So there's 1 dot of redstone dust, to which we will attach a block. We're going to have to cut a little bit further this way. That gives us 1 more. Oh, bother. Not bother. That'll work perfectly. All right. And then against this, we need that, and that, and that, and that. Comparator, block, whoopsies. Hopper. Nah, that's not a hopper. That's a hopper. Now, when I put the block of redstone in there, we built ourselves a simple hopper timer. And in here, I put cobblestone. That's almost what I want. There's one thing missing there. Those sounds should be separate, not simultaneous. What have I done wrong? I went for the simplest solution. So this current here feeds into this block, which powers a torch, which powers this block. Got a little lag there. Which then inversely powers this one. So there's our warning. Now, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to make this only happen when there is actually something coming. So, remember, that would be if this is powered, so we're going to put it into that state. This is the state in which we should have a grade crossing warning, which means that this line is on, and this one is off. The very last thing we need is a way to turn this off once it's on. So let me show you how this is going to work. When I put the card here, the system will turn off, and these lights will just stay on. And the way I'm doing that is when this disabling line goes on, because a cart just went past, this line is going to be powered, and this line is connected to a redstone torch that is unpowered when the system should be disabled, which leaves this redstone disabled, which leaves this torch on, which inhibits this item hopper from passing that item onto the next item hopper, i.e. part of our hopper timer. Now, just for the sake of how this works, how this is supposed to work, specifically that those lights should be off. I'm just going to move this around slightly. Those lights should be off when the system is off. Ooh, am I out of redstone torches? Look at that. Time for some more redstone torches. There we go. So I will do that. Move that. Do that. Do that. That'll throw another torch in the mix there. Now, the system is off and these lights are off. There we go. Alrighty, shall we give it a quick test run? I say yes. Where's our cart? It's sitting right here. That should be far enough. Let's hop out and run after our cart and catch it, because of course we are. Alright, let's give this a try, shall we? Now we're about to hit the detector. Nice, and then it turned off again. And here we're at the station. Now just to prove that that crossover works, I'm going to get in this cart, push the button. cross over. Warnings. Through we roll. Then after we roll through, it turns off. So that'll do it. That is our grade crossing. Our functional minecart grade crossing that makes noises and lights to show people that there's a cart coming. If I can get my cart here, I can go back there and show you what it looks like one final time. As that sun rises on a new day. Alright, it's going. I'm going to hop right out here. Let it turn off. I'll go catch my cart later. It's going to wait in the station for us. So what we have is 2 detector rails on each side for a total of 4 detector rails that are making our system able to detect when a cart is in the zone in between those detectors, i.e. when it's likely to be, going past that grade crossing. I'm just enclosing this as I talk. Those detectors lead to a machine room underneath the grade crossing itself, where I've put some circuitry centered around a flip-flop and a hopper timer that allows our system to flash lights and make sounds when there's a cart in that zone that should be protected. Just closing this up, just bear with me a moment. And I'll use some sand to fill this in over here so it looks a little nicer. There we go. And on the other side. Beautiful. There we go. And get rid of this because this was just a placeholder for us. And then as soon as I close this little gap in here up, we'll be all set. So just to review once more, up here we have a flip-flop. I closed that up a little too well. There we go. And here is the flip-flop. This gets set and reset every time a cart enters or exits the section that we want to protect. I'm going to throw some torches in here to prevent mob spawns. This allows our system to know whether it should be flashing the lights and sound or if it should not be. Then, if I go back and restore that piece I just broke, there we go. Underneath here, we have a hopper timer. This hopper piston timer makes an item go in between these two. These hoppers are pointing into each other. Each has a comparator coming out pointing to a block, which powers a little dot of redstone, which makes these pistons go back and forth. This redstone block goes with them, disabling one of these 2 hoppers so that it continues cycling as quickly as possible. And then that cycling makes this line flash on and off, which through a series of torches and these diodes over here turns our lights on and off, makes them flash, and also goes to our 2 little note blocks over there and makes them go ding ding ding. And if I just close this right back up again, it'll be like we were never here. And there you have it, a complete grade crossing in Minecraft. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, please feel free to join the Cemetech Minecraft server, mc.cemetech.net. We are always looking for skill builders, redstone creators, people who like to just hang out, have fun with other intelligent Minecrafters who like to build cool things and do cool stuff. I have been Kerr Martian, your host, and I look forward to seeing you around on Minecraft. And as always, feel free to like this video if you found it particularly helpful. If you came up with your own variation or a way you can improve it, please let me know in the comments. And I hope you will consider subscribing for future videos about Minecraft, electronics, graphing calculators, trains, and all the things that interest me. This has been Kerr Martian. See you.